Hello everyone. So I finally did my Leh Ladak trip and it was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. It was just brilliant. After finishing the trip, I decided I'll make this video because when I was planning for the trip, I was completely lost on what gear I need to carry for the trip. Um, there are a lot of videos on YouTube regarding the trip and what people did and what they saw and all those things, which was all brilliant. But there was very little information on the net on what gear you need to carry to make it a really comfortable trip, especially for someone who has not done something similar before. Okay, so let's jump into this. This is in a nutshell, my trip. We started from Srinagar and finished in Manali. Most of you who are planning would be doing something similar. Might have more stops or less stops, but usually the start is Srinagar and finishing in Manali. So before we start, let's just emphasize on the importance of carrying less luggage. Less luggage, the better. And so it's always better to carry things which are multi-purpose. So that is one thing that you need to remember when you are deciding what you need to buy. So when it came to shoes, I bought a shoe which I could use as a riding shoe as well as a casual shoe. So I bought the Alpine Star J6, which you can see on the image on the left side. They are pretty comfortable shoes as well as waterproof. So waterproof means, let's say you step on a puddle or splash some water while crossing a stream, they wouldn't let water come inside and wet your socks. Which is important because if your socks are wet and if it's cold and if you're not able to change it immediately, then it is a bit of a discomfort and you might even get sick. So I would recommend getting waterproof shoes, but it's not a mandate, right? Most of the riders in my group just had normal shoes, just any comfortable shoes. They managed to get away with it, so it's not a mandate. But if you are someone who is considering riding going forward or doing more of such trips, then this would be a good investment. Another thing to keep in mind is to wear thick woolen socks, something that would keep you really warm because it would be cold while you're riding, and then keeping your feet warm is very important. So an alternate to the riding shoes which are waterproof are the waterproof boot rain shoe covers. They are pretty good. They will prevent any water from getting in. So I did carry with me the rain shoe covers, but I did not use them, mainly because I did not find time to wear them before I crossed the streams. Because what happens is when you reach a stream, the next thing you know is there are like a line of riders behind you, and then you need to cross the stream before they can cross. So you don't get time to stand there, wear your boot covers on, and then continue. You just keep going. Secondly, because my boots were waterproof, I knew that small streams and splashes would be taken care by the boot, and it did, and so that's another reason why I didn't use it. Thirdly, the weather was really good. It didn't rain, so if we had an indication that it's gonna rain for the whole of the day, then I probably just wear them at the start of the ride for the whole day, so that my shoes and socks are dry. So now you guys know what does a waterproof riding shoe do, as well as what does a rain shoe cover do, based on which you guys can decide whether you want to invest into these two items, because there are a lot of factors that affect them. Main one being the rain, and the other one being the water level that you need to cross. Coming to the socks, I would highly recommend getting really warm socks so that you stay nice and warm throughout the trip. So coming to the pants, I did try out a lot of pants for the trip, and then what I realized that all of them were so heavy. So I managed to find this pant, which is the Ion Kino pants, which is waterproof chino pants, and they were really comfortable. They just felt like wearing normal pants, and they were of course waterproof, which was really helpful. And they also came with knee pads. Those pants were good, but they were a bit expensive. So if I am doing this trip again, I probably might not invest into those pants. I would just wear a normal jean and then have knee guards on top of them. The only challenge with wearing jeans and wearing knee guards on top of them is rain. If it rains, it will get drenched. So you might have to carry a few jeans with you, and then just wear the knee guard above them. And carrying a waterproof rain pen will also help. If you know that the weather is going to be rainy for the next 2 days, just wear the rain pants above your jeans for the whole trip. Like wear them in the morning and then just remove it when you're done with the riding. In that way, you don't get drenched. So to summarize, waterproof riding pants is completely optional. You could get away with just wearing jeans and the knee guards on top of them. I cannot stress the importance of wearing knee guards. Do not compromise on that. Our provider or our service provider did give us knee guards, so we just use those ones. But if they don't, you please make sure you carry yours. The waterproof rain pants is again optional. So depending on whether you want to invest onto it, it would be good if the weather forecast is gonna be rainy. It will keep you dry. Otherwise, being wet on a high altitude is not a great feeling. Now coming to the jackets, if you are planning to make an investment into a riding jacket, then I've put down the bullet points on the things that you need to consider before buying one. Another important factor to consider is the weight of the jacket. I did try a lot of jackets and some of them were so heavy that it was difficult to move in them. This is the jacket that I bought for myself. It was lightweight and did give me good protection as well. But if I was to do this again, I probably might not make such a big investment on a jacket because 10 days of riding in that terrain actually has taken a toll on the jacket and it looks pretty old now. Alternatively, you could get away with wearing just any warm jacket and having good protection like your elbow guards and your back guards, which you could buy separately. Okay, to summarize, riding jackets are great. They do give you the protection and the comfort, but you could get away with any warm jacket with additional protection on top of it. Coming to gloves, I cannot stress the importance of having really good gloves. I know some of us are not used to wearing gloves while riding, and it may take a while to get used to it, but it is very important that you wear gloves while riding. One, it will keep your hand really warm, which will very quickly get very cold in the high altitude. Two, it will protect you against any injuries in case of a fall. I would recommend carrying two gloves depending on the weather, because once they get drenched, then it's very hard to wear them. So I would recommend carrying two. I would also recommend carrying a warm glove liner. In some locations, the weather gets so cold that even your gloves wouldn't give you the warmth that you need. So you need to wear a liner inside and then wear the glove on top of it. Alternatively, if you don't want to invest into two gloves, sometimes what they do is they actually ask you to get disposable gloves. So just in case your biking glove has become drenched, you can just wear disposable gloves and then wear the biking gloves on top of it. Okay, to summarize, biking gloves, very important, very, very important, at least one. Two, if you can. A warm glove liner recommended because there are times where it will become really cold. And disposable gloves, just in case you are planning not to get two gloves, then disposable gloves is also recommended. Going further up, the neck and face. So on the left side, the winter warm snood scarf neck warmer, very important, very, very important. You put them on your neck, which will keep your neck warm, and it is very important that your neck is warm because at the high altitude when you're riding at that speed, your neck can get very cold and you can get a sore throat. So it is very important that you have one, and just to protect your neck. Now coming to the full face gaiter or the skull cap, right? So either one would actually do, but I would highly recommend getting the full face gaiter for a couple of reasons. One, it gives you a kind of nice feeling when you wear the helmet on top of it because it covers your whole head. Secondly, it will protect you from the sun. Only your eyes are exposed. So when you wear your sunglasses on top, there isn't any part of your face that is exposed to the sun. So that I would recommend going for a full face gaiter rather than a skull cap, but skull cap will also do to wear your helmet. So to summarize, the neck warmer, very important. And between the full face full face mask and the skull cap, I would recommend getting the full face mask, but the skull cap would also do. Coming to the helmets, our tour operator did provide us with the helmets. So we had to just choose among the many helmets that were there. So when it comes to picking a helmet, I would definitely recommend picking one for which the visor can be kept open at different angles. For some of those helmets, that mechanism would be broken and the visor would either stay open or closed, but you wouldn't be able to keep them open at different positions. And why that is important is sometimes it fogs up inside the helmet. So need to leave it open a little bit so that the fog clears up. Now if you leave it open the visor the whole way, then it becomes very cold. So it is better we can leave it open for a little bit so that the fog clears up and you don't get too cold at the same time. Other than that, just make sure it fits you. I did also carry a Bluetooth intercom for my helmet. The main idea was to listen to music from my phone. So if you are someone who actually likes to listen to music while riding, this is a great option. They can be used as intercom as well between riders. So if you want to use that is also possible. I just mainly used it for listening to the music for the whole trip because I was a solo rider, and then listening to the music and open roads, nothing better than that. So to summarize, if you're carrying your helmet, then great. You don't need to check anything. You know what you have. If you are picking one, just choose one with a good mechanism for the visor, and Bluetooth is optional anyways. But if you're listening to music, you love music and riding, great option. Last but not the least, all the additional accessories. So definitely carry a backpack with you. Into this backpack will go all the essential items that you can carry with you while you are riding, because your main luggage would be in the jeep or the truck that is following you, and then you would be just having access to all the items that you have kept in your backpack. So some of the important things that will go into your backpack would be your bottle of water, maybe two, some biscuits just in case you get hungry in between the way, your poncho, your rain pants, your rain shoe covers, and all those things that you might need in between the trip and not having to wait for your main luggage. Because your main luggage would be in the vehicle that is following you, and they may not always be with you, but they will be behind, just in making sure that all the riders have gone before them. So all those things that you need accessibility to quickly, just keep them in this bag. So the next one that I have on my list here is the bungee or the hook strap. So this allows you to tie your bag to the bike. So in that way, you don't have to carry this backpack on your back, and you can ride more freely. So if you look at this picture, that's my bike and that's my backpack tied to the bike using the hook strap. The next one on my list is the selfie stick, and obviously everyone knows the purpose of a selfie stick, so we'll not go into the details of that. A rain poncho. I would highly recommend carrying one because and keep it inside your backpack. You would have no clue when it would start drizzling. So the moment it starts drizzling, you probably just need to pull over and then just put this rain poncho on and then carry on. The next thing that I have on the list is the mobile phone holder. I did buy one for the trip, but I did not end up using it. Mainly because there was no situation where I had to refer to the maps to navigate through the roads to reach the destination. So depending on your situation and the ride that you're going, if you need one or if you think that you will have to rely on the maps to navigate to your destination, then this might be really handy. The next one is your moisturizer, lip balm and sunscreen lotion. I would highly recommend carrying all of them. It is high altitude, it will get cold, and your lip balm is your lifesaver. You definitely need a few of them. I did carry a couple of them. I managed to lose all of them, but no matter what, whenever you stop for a break, if there is a shop nearby, you will easily be able to get one from there. UV protection sunglasses, I cannot stress the importance of that because at high altitude the sun will be so blaring into your eyes that you need good UV protection sunglasses. The next one is the waterproof submersible pouch. Now this is again optional, but I did have this with me because I traveled overseas for this trip. So I had my passport, my overseas license, OCI card and a few other things which I put inside this. It is completely waterproof, submersible, and I had this inside my jacket. So it was always with me, no matter what happened. The next thing is the thermal innerwear. Now this is again optional depending on your how susceptible you are to the cold. I did carry a few with me. Did not end up using all of them, but I did end up using one or two pair because there were locations where it got so cold that there was no getting away without using them. One more additional thing, so with the backpack you either get a waterproof backpack or get a rain cover for the backpack so that it doesn't get wet and the things inside it doesn't get wet if it drizzles. Power banks. I would highly recommend carrying a power bank depending on how many photos and videos you take. If you're listening to music, then power bank would really help you to keep your charge up on your phone. Multi-purpose footwear. Like I mentioned in the beginning, the less luggage the better. You can carry a footwear that you can wear as a casual footwear for a stroll or something that can get wet and while you use your toilet and all those things, that will be ideal. Utility knife is again another handy tool that you can have during the trip because I'm sure there will be things that you need to cut or open and this would be really handy. Medications would be really good, fever, cold and diarrhea, and if you have if you're allergic to anything, then antihistamine and any regular medicines that you have on a daily basis. Offline Google Maps would be a good idea. Most of the locations won't have range, so if you have your offline Google Maps downloaded onto your phone, and let's say for some reason you get lost from your group, you can still navigate to the destination if you know where you're going. And like what I mentioned in the beginning, this is not professional advice. This is just a guideline to help you plan for your gear for this trip to make it more enjoyable one. Well, that's it. Good luck, ride safe, and enjoy your trip.